Hey, look on the screen. Look on the screen. I wonder how many black men would date her. No, I don't think she. Well, I know she doesn't have a good paying job. That I do know. I wonder how many black men would date her. She right now with no children. She has no money, no income. I wonder if they would tell Becky she got to come up with pay half the bills. Now I'm referring not to if you're the kind that's providing all that. I'm talking about the Dusties. And some Dusties have good jobs too. But I wonder how many black men would date her. I'm willing to bet you that she could get on a site tonight and just say she prefer a black man. Why? Some chocolate drop he gonna come running. Oh yeah, girl, know what I'm saying, girl? He'll come running. Seriously. I'll bet you one will come running tonight. She'll have some little, however the notifications are on the dating sites. Somebody gonna be at your girl by tomorrow. Chocolate drop gonna pop up. So I'm just wondering if how many black men would date her if she was quote available. We don't have to worry because I don't think you're gonna be dating her anytime soon because she's not available. Gosh darn, really? I know Becky's not available. Oh my gosh. So why is she on the screen? Again, the question is, if she were available, how many black men would date her? Check this out. Fair use. Who is old girl? Susan. I remember you. Mm-mm-mm.
She could be a soccer mom, but 25 years ago, this woman committed a crime that shocked the nation.
Our lives had been torn apart by this tragic event.
In 1994, Susan Smith claimed she was carjacked by a black man who took off with her two young sons in the back seat. She pleaded for the safe return of her boys, 14-month-old Alex and 3-year-old Michael.
I would like to say to whoever has my children that they please bring them home.
Little by little, 23-year-old Smith's story fell apart until this bombshell announcement.
Susan Smith has been arrested and will be charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of her children.
In reality, Smith let her car roll down a boat ramp into this lake with her 2 boys still strapped in their car seats in the back. The reason, according to authorities, she was having an affair with a man who didn't want children. Both of her sons drowned. So what has life been like in prison for Susan Smith the past 25 years? You can see how the young mom has aged in the last 2 decades. She's now 48. In that time, she has been disciplined 5 times, including, get this, for having sex with 2 correctional officers. Captain Alfred Rowe was one of them. She had enough charm to attract you to her. How did it start?
Her approaching me at about 3 o'clock one morning, telling me that she thought I was the nicest officer there and that she was lonely and things just escalated.
Rowe told me he had only one sexual encounter with Susan Smith, but it was enough to cost him his job.
I get a phone call not to come back to work.
You were fired.
Yes.
Did you lose your pension? Did you lose everything?
Yes. Lost it all.
What do you want people to know about Susan Smith?
That she's a manipulator.
Oh, no, she ain't no manipulator. You got yourself into that trouble, homeboy. No, she ain't no manipulator. It takes 2. You got yourself into that situation. I remember this case. And, man, I remember people, it was on the news. Oh, man, I was like, I remember this, I can't believe it's been over 20 years. So I think I was like a teenager, but I remember this case. It was a major deal. Oh, my God, major deal. Because you had people who were out at that lake with children. I remember seeing black women with their kids, and it was just shocking because guess what happened, people? When they pulled those kids out of that lake, they were in car seats. What I'll never forget, the news reported that 2 little boys were in car seats, and when they pulled their bodies out of the car, the babies were holding hands. The babies, of course, they were deceased. They were in the back seat in the car seats. They were holding hands. 2 brothers. And this didn't have to be. What a mean witch. She was divorced. The man you saw beside her, that was the children's father. She could have given those boys to her father, but she was dating a man, and they had found some love letters saying the man pretty much, he didn't want children. He didn't want a woman that had children. And so she was trying to move forward with that relationship. The man didn't want her with those kids. And that's what she did. All she had to do was get the kids to her father. And then she put out a black man. I'll never forget it. A black woman was like, ain't no black man stole her car with those kids. He got enough of his own doing kids. I never forget that. But that's what she said did it. And then they had a detective. It was just so shocking. They had a detective when she was giving a story. I will never forget. And it wasn't, I don't remember his face, but I remember they were talking about it. They said, oh yeah, he said, from the moment she gave her story, he said, I knew something wasn't right. But she was sure to say one thing. It was a black man. She got that part right. And he said, and they talked to her some more, and it was like, the story wasn't gelling. All they had the news conferences, press conferences going. And her ex-husband or baby daddy, I think they were married, divorced. He was active in the kids' lives. So she could have given those children to her ex-husband. But she didn't want that, I guess on her that she gave up the kids. Oh, and the man that didn't want her because he didn't want the kids, he didn't want the kind of relationship, he didn't want children. When this came about, he did not come forward for Jack, you know what? He dropped her like a hot potato. Because they were like, where's the man at? Where's the man at? He didn't come forward at all. But I thought they make the best mothers. Black women, that man, every time they bring some kids, be some trouble, the black women's. So yeah, I remember the detective. The story's falling apart. It's like it wasn't adding up for day one, and then it all came out. And the little love letters told the story. The man she was dating, he didn't want her with. He didn't want a woman with kids. That's what he didn't want. And look what she did. They pulled the car from the water, and they found the 2 babies in car seats. They said the babies were holding hands, probably just terrified. Can you imagine? Oh, and of course she got her butt out because I think she said he was carjacked. She was carjacked, and the black men just took the car with her kids in it. Are you serious? So yeah, that's why I asked the question. So if she were to get out, I think she got life good. I just hate the fact that she's still breathing. If she were to get out next week, I'm willing to bet you a dust bucket, self-hating dust bucket, see this video. She have no money, no resources. And she needs somewhere to go. From the halfway house, okay, now I need somewhere to go. I'm willing to bet you she can play soccer mom with a chocolate drop, and he might know all the details. That's in the past. We moving on. We moving on. We gonna move on. She regret what she did. That's over. I loves her. You look up SusanSmith, the murderer, be sitting up. Girl, you in a what? Is she pregnant? She carried my baby. And then you might find him on the news because she been locked up. So, Miss Manipulator, Miss Murderer. But don't forget who she said committed that crime. Again, if she were to be released, even if this was out, hey, SusanSmith, she's been released. She's out. One thing she can count on, Blackistan. Well, we got to forgive. You will see a man. We got to forgive her. And she was on church on Sunday. The Lord will forgive you. You can't play God now. Them children is resting in the arms of glory. You play God now. We got to forgive. Oh, but a black woman, that old skank, that old thing. I look at behavior and I see how, wow, people can change. That depends on who it is. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Somebody may agree, somebody may disagree. That's okay. We can have a conversation in the comments. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I just want to know what you guys think. If this thing were to get out today, and I resent the fact that she does not deserve it after what she did to those children. And don't forget now, what if they had not been diligent? What if she would have picked up? It was him. You would have another black man locked up based on her word, her line behind word. But don't forget, this is the preference. When it came time for that, let that murder on somebody, taking her kids, the preference, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, she knew who to pick. She knew to pick a black man. And I'm out.